We are getting set for UFC 197 coming up this Saturday from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's John Pollock and John Randine with you. And joining us here in studio, Anthony Pettis, who gets set to return against Edson Barboza this weekend. Anthony, just 5 days out from this fight, how are you feeling at this point and this camp that you've gone through thus far?
I'm ready. 5 days out, ready to make this weight and just get the job done. You know, I feel like this is my first time continuing from camp to camp. I had a year off between the two fights, 8 months off for injuries. This is my first time going from camp to a camp, so I'm feeling good.
You wear a lot of hats: student, teacher, brother, son, father, professional fighter. Time management and structure, I would imagine, is key. How do you keep everything in balance?
That's the hard part. I mean, for me, I went back to the drawing board. What got me to this position, and it's just all the day training, spending all my time focusing on training, watching film, watching fight. You know, I lost focus of that a little bit, trying to do so many different things, like you say. But you know, I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I kind of just cleared my mind and just thought about nothing but training, and I feel like that just woke me up again and kind of got my body back to where I used to be at.
Do you like being a part of the process when it comes to strategizing for an opponent, or do you like leaving that to the coaches and they bring it back to you, you go to the gym and work on the things you need to work on?
No, I do a big part of that. I mean, they give me the general guidelines, but it's up to me to actually feel comfortable doing it. Because I mean, somebody could tell you A, B, and C, and who knows how it feels doing it actually until you actually spar and do it, or you're doing it in a fight. So I gotta feel comfortable with what's going on out there.
After the loss to Dos Anjos, I mean, there's so much you can take away from a fight like that. Is it accurate that sometimes you can overanalyze a loss and you kind of spread yourself and get away from your core? Was that something you felt going into the Eddie Alvarez fight at all?
Nah, the injury was what was annoying. You know,
Yeah.
I lose the RDA, ultimately you want to get your race that injury right away. And then I got an elbow injury that was pretty severe. You know, it was like 8 months off for recovering for elbow. It was frustrating because I didn't have a chance to get better right away. I had to go back to getting in shape for a fight,
Right,
opposed to getting better after a loss. So two bad things that happened to me in a row, and it kind of just shows how it works. I mean, a year off in the sport, a lot changes.
We've talked to so many fighters who say that it's very important to know when to reel things back. Going through the grind year after year, the goal is put in as much time as you can to try to get at that top of the mountain. But we've heard that the recovery time is just as important as skill development.
For sure, and that's something you got to learn. I mean, I was young in the sport. You know, I got my first world title at 23, UFC world title at 26. I was just used to just grinding nonstop, go, go, go. The harder I worked, the harder it was to beat me, and that was my mindset. And sparring was a big part of that. So I think that's why I went right back into sparring after the RDA fight. You know, a freak accident really. It was braced out and the wrong amount of pressure, elbow's gone. And then I'm stuck on the sidelines for 8 months coming off a loss. It was just a crappy time in my life. You know, it was hard to deal with.
Has your philosophy changed on sparring right now? Because we hear a lot of fighters and trainers say sparring isn't as important as we once thought, especially if you have a lot of experience. You have a lot of experience.
You know, I do spar pretty much, but it's more of controlled now. It's not like I'm going against guys that have no reason to be in the same octagon as me. I'm going against top level guys that have the same amount to lose than I do. Because in MMA, you got guys that can come off the street and just come spar with top level guys. No other sport you can do that in. You can't do that in hockey, basketball, come be in the sport. Our street and come train with top level guys. So it was frustrating just that's where my injuries are coming from. Going with guys that I should have been in the octagon with. They should never have been in the same sparring room as me. And we addressed that. You know, I'm going with guys that I should be going with that have the same amount to lose that I have.
When you got the name of Edson Barboza, is that the kind of fighter that really gets you excited? You know his style, and I mean, a lot of people expect fireworks out of this fight at 155 pounds, given your two styles.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Nate Diaz, so that's the name I was expected to fight. I signed a contract that said Nate Diaz for this weekend. Obviously, the Conor McGregor took him out of that. So the next guy was Edson Barboza. That was a line, and I've been looking at it for a long time. I mean, he's a Taekwondo practitioner like myself, great striking, and you know, he has some highlight reel knockouts. So you put two guys like that in the octagon, you know you're in for some fireworks.
When you look at the 155-pound picture, and we've talked about it, probably the deepest it's ever been in the sport's history, do you look at some of the guys that are ranked in the top 10, say, oh, I could be facing them in the future, let's address some of the things that they're good at right now, or do you not focus on that? You focus on your own skill development and things that you need to do?
I did, and that was a mistake I made. When I had the belt, before RDA, I was looking at the top 10, like I was playing matchmaker, this guy fights this guy fights, I could fight this guy. You go crazy doing that. There's so many good guys, the division changes so much that like you can't be ready for everybody at one specific time. It takes a training camp, it takes time to get ready, and I feel like I did it right this time. You know, getting away from Milwaukee for a little bit, focusing 100% on training, getting new sparring partners, new bodies, new fields. It was just, it felt good to have this camp.
Over the past year, there have been so many changes for UFC fighters with the introduction of USADA, the IV ban. I mean, just from your own perspective as a fighter, what have these changes been like for you in your camp and adjustments that the entire roster has had to make?
Yeah, I love it. I love USADA being part of it because that makes sure the sport's fair. They show up 6 o'clock in the morning, knocking at your door. You gotta do what they say you gotta do, and they come pretty often. I mean, I've been drug tested like 4 or 5 times in the last couple months since they've been there. So it's really keeping the sport fair. I mean, you can't have these guys that are, you know, looking younger and they're older, you know, like, not going to say any names, but these guys are like getting better hair and more muscles. It's like, yeah, come on, man. But yeah, it keeps it fair. And then with the IV ban, you know, it keeps it more true to the weight classes. You can't have guys cutting 40 pounds and making weight, and then all of a sudden they're showing up and they're still 30 pounds, you know, heavier than you. All that makes the sport a little more fair. So I'm in support of it.
Many people think that over the next number of years, a lot of people are going to be weeded out of the sport because of that. What do you anticipate the sport will look like in the next couple of years?
Well, at the same time, you're going to have new guys coming in because as many people who come out, there's like 10 new guys trying to take that one spot. So yeah, the sport's going to have you know, a more cleaner feel to it, and that's what I like. Because there's a lot of good guys that fighters that I respect. But even the Machida thing, that sucks to see. I was such a big fan of Machida, even if it wasn't, you know, fair. He's always labeled as this guy did this. So it sucks to see that these, you know, higher level guys are doing that. But at the same time, it's going to make the sport more fair and more clean. So that's what I'm all support of.
Do you like fighters that, when you think about the potential matchup for you, fighters that'll bring out the best in you, things that maybe you haven't seen before inside of the cage?
Yes, I like to fight guys that are coming to fight, if you will. Like guys that are coming not to use the rules to win a fight, to actually come fight. So who's the better fighter that night? Finish, knockout, I mean, or like a very decisive decision is also acceptable. But guys that don't come to fight, it's hard to get ready for them guys.
One of the things I want to ask you, I think the last time you fought on the same card as your brother, you said, I don't want to deal with that again. Mm-hmm. Dealing with the stress of having your brother fight as you're getting ready in the back. How is this going to be different?
I had to get away from that. You know, I don't like attaching any kind of superstitions to any of my fights. Where a fight is a fight. It's not a team sport. You know, he's in charge of his career. I'm in charge of my career. Whatever happens in his fight has nothing to do with me. Obviously, after the fight, I'll feel some emotion if it's a win or loss. But I got to be able to concentrate on my fight. And we had some success before with it. And we fought on cards before in Milwaukee. We fought in Vegas together. Dallas was a no good card for both of us, but who knows what's going to happen, and that's this fight game. I mean, it's just your preparation prepares you for that night. Is
it easy to deal with stress for you? You know, being at the highest level, you've seen everything in this sport. Have you been able to manage all the stress that comes with everything?
Yeah, I think I've seen the highs, the lowest lows, and I've been in the middle guy trying to get a title shot. So I think I've been in every position you could be in this sport, and now it's just figuring it all out so I can get better. My only job that I look at right now is to become a better athlete, a better fighter every fight. If I can do that, I'm doing my job right.
Have you taken a second to look at the next lightweight championship fight and who you feel will be champion after July 7th? When
I just heard that the fight was announced, Eddie Alvarez, RDA. I fought them both, and based on my experience with him, I had to go RDA. I mean, I fought Alvarez. It was, I mean, definitely strong dude, a tough guy, but not even close to the pressure that RDA had on me for 5 rounds. So,
were you surprised he got the title fight, or did you think he was deserving of it afterwards?
If you look at the division, it makes sense. I mean, Ferguson being hurt, Khabib just fought a newcomer, so it doesn't really make sense for him to give him a title shot after fighting a newcomer. I don't know why Alvarez and Khabib didn't fight. That could have been a good one for a title shot. But yeah, I mean, it's his time. He got his title shot, so I give him respect.
One of the things I want to ask you is it important for you to be creative? I think when most people think about your name, they think, okay, I have to tune into his fight because he's going to do something crazy. Is that pressure on you to go out and perform, or do you like being that guy? Do you like putting these highlight reels up?
Not really. I just think my fighting style is flashy already. So it's like it's not the norm. Kickboxing and wrestling and jiu-jitsu. I got that flash in my striking that makes it a little already more spectacular to watch. So I don't really try to put pressure on myself to one up what I've done before. I think the Showtime kick is probably one of the greatest kicks of all time, and it's going to be hard to duplicate that the way it was done in the title fight. So yeah, I mean, I just go out there, fight my fights, and the results speak for themselves.
Last thing, if you have one word to describe your mindset getting set for Edson Barboza, what would that word be?
Focused.
All right. We're looking forward to it. UFC 197, it's coming up Saturday night. Edson Barboza and Anthony Pettis, they will get it on Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. For John Ramdeen, I'm John Pollock, and enjoy the fights coming up Saturday night.